HeFRA is the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency. What it does specifically is to ensure that facilities that provide healthcare have some basic required equipment, tools, things that will give us some standard healthcare for our people.
Prior to that, there was a board which was called the Private Hospitals and Maternity Home Board that used to regulate private. As you can see, the name is private, so it used to regulate just private facilities. It was agreed that it was better to have an act that captured both public and private facilities, and this was Act 829 2011, and the act is to receive applications, consider and approve these applications to license all health facilities, both public and private. We need to make sure that the service is up to standard, and we've got to maintain the standards. And if we want to maintain standards, then there should be an agency or a board or a kind of regulatory agency, as we call it, to be able to do that job on behalf of the government and for the people of Ghana. If it's a new facility, they will approach us and tell us of their intention to set up this facility. And then depending upon what facility they want to set up, we'll go through with them the requirements. Okay? The Act talks about the basic minimum requirements of personnel and equipment. So we need to take them through these requirements. We have the general requirements, which apply to all types of health facilities in the country. And then we have specific requirements which will be in place for different types of facilities. For example, the requirements that we will have for a pharmacy will not be the same as the one for a clinic or for a physiotherapy center. So there are different requirements. And then when we have taken them through these requirements, they go back and set up according to what we have agreed on. And when they are ready, we will go and inspect them. And if we are satisfied that they've been able to carry through all these requirements according to what the law asks them to do and whatever the minister will put in place, then we will register them and license them and allow them to operate. Okay? But as I said, if it's an existing facility, then we just go and inspect and ask them to carry on. If it's a new facility, we will work with them to make sure that they are meeting the requirements and putting things in place in terms of the structure and personnel and equipment. In the expression of their intention to set up a facility, we provide them with a form, and in that form they need to give us some information about who the owner is, where the location is, who is going to be the practitioner in charge of the facility, because each facility should have its own practitioner in charge who will be a professional accredited by a professional body. For example, if we need a doctor for a facility, the Medical and Dental Council, which seeks to deal and monitor and regulate doctors, will tell us that this doctor is in good standing, is up to date with us, and he can operate a facility. So that person becomes a practitioner in charge. The Act provides for the registration, which allows it to capture some data about the facility and go through the requirements. But then on the anniversary of the existence of this facility, there's what we call retention. So every year, they've got to pay some money to us, and that money allows us to regulate and monitor them. The Act also stipulates that each facility which is registered with HeFRA should have that certificate displayed in a public place, so anybody going there will see whether they are registered or not. Currently, as we speak, we are in conjunction with the Ghana Health Service doing a survey to identify all health facilities. So each district director is supposed to give us a list of all the health facilities that there are in the district. We also go out to do on the spot check to see if there are facilities that we have missed in the process. So we can send a group of people to go somewhere in a local area and then find out what there is and to see if they are registered with us or not. Two things the Act provides for. One, as I said before, there is no facility, health facility, that can provide any service to the public if it is not registered with HeFRA. Secondly, no personnel can operate any equipment if that equipment is in a facility which is not registered with HeFRA. And there are serious penalties, serious consequences. The Act provides for a prison term of no more than 10 years and 5,000 penalty points. And they could also risk being closed permanently or for a period of time if they don't do what the Act expects them to do. We're encouraging the public, whether you visit a facility or you are a client in a facility, if there's anything that you are not happy with, we have a complaints department. You can call us in, you can come and visit us, you can tell us what is happening, and we will be able to go and follow up your complaint and deal with it accordingly. Schedule 1 in the Act provides for a list of facilities that need to be registered with HeFRA. Okay, so it goes from hospitals, clinics, health centers, pharmacies, diagnosis centers, CHIPS compound, and then any other facility. The Act also says that the health minister will determine as needing to register with us will have to register with us. So there's a list of that. I mean, and you can find yourself in that list. And if obviously you are in that list, you know that you are covered and you need to register. In fact, the way I see it is all types of health facilities. So the traditional ones that you're talking about, currently they are being regulated by Food and Drugs Board for the medication. But I'm very sure very soon we'll have to be dealing with their facilities and make sure that they also come and register with HeFRA. Government's vision is to make sure that people get a optimal health provision in all areas of health. So now that we have the Act, the important thing, or the next important thing, is to make sure that we make the Act work. The Act will not work by itself, and that behoves on the Minister of Health and myself and the agency to make sure that health facilities come under the umbrella of HeFRA. And when that happens, we'll be able to manage them for standards and make sure that they're doing what is right for the good of the people who use it. The people who use facilities may not know about certain things, and they may be accessing some facility in ignorance. It is our job to make sure that when a facility calls itself a clinic or a hospital, it is indeed a clinic or a hospital. And also the Act requires that all facilities should enumerate, list all types of services that they provide. So when you walk into a facility, you can see what is it that this facility can provide for you.